Alzheimer's and pharmacological interventions here in the UK, ladies and gents. So let's just very quick run through Alzheimer's. What is it? It's the most common form of dementia. What's dementia? Neurological disorder characterized by a progressive decline in an individual's cognition. Cognition, remember, is all about higher functions, centers, personality, thoughts, processes, orders, memory, and so on and so forth. There are other types of dementia: vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, frontotemporal dementia, and then there are a few rarer ones still, including the likes of early onset dementia. Alzheimer's itself accounts for about 70%, give or take, and again, there is a range here, and it depends on what reference you read. Your vascular and Lewy body dementia generally are probably in equal amounts in terms of prevalence, and they probably equate to around about 25%, give or take. The remainder, kind of 2 to 4, 5% of frontotemporal and the rare ones. Vascular dementia, very quickly. This one, what you kind of see is you see periods of complete stability in terms of no further decline until you all of a sudden get another decline. And these declines are completely sporadic, and they can happen over short periods of times or over very long periods of times. And the decline that we see doesn't have to actually be just higher center focused. This is a little bit like, ischemic strokes, where you get a little clot coming off, and then the area of the brain which this clot actually goes to affect is then reflected in terms of the neurological deficit that then manifests. Lewy body dementia, visual hallucination. Just remember that with this one, you get visual hallucinations, and you're looking at Lewy body dementia. Okay, now in terms of management itself, the purpose of this video. So we take two approaches. The most important thing is, first and foremost, we categorize as mild to moderate dementia, and we have moderate to severe dementia. The main aim of Alzheimer's or dementia management is to increase the amount of acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter between the neurons. Why? Because acetylcholine is responsible for actually carrying out cognitive function. So if I now inhibit the enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine, which is acetylcholine esterase, I can actually leave acetylcholine in the synapses. So I'm going to use inhibitors of that enzyme, acetylcholine esterase. And what are those inhibitors? Well, you've got donepezil, rivastigmine, and galantamine. In terms of the moderate to severe, this isn't really associated with this management of ACHA's inhibitors. Rather, this is more about, okay, we've got progress in the symptoms, how do we now kind of control as much as we can, because we've got limitations over on this side. So we use memantine. Okay, memantine is an NMDA receptor blocker. Why? Because NMDA essentially can cause toxicity of the neurons. So if I can block the amount of NMDA going into this neuron cells, I can actually save some of the neurons from the toxicity. Interestingly, memantine, what it also does is it improves memory. So M for memantine, so it actually improves cognition as well, and that's one of the reasons we use it. Risperidone is an antipsychotic, and it's used off license, again, to manage the psychological symptoms. Why psychological symptoms? Well, I just said it's an antipsychotic, isn't it? And so that's why it's to be used off license for that reason. Now, really, the question is, how do we memorize some of this? And I did come up with a bit of a mnemonic. My name is Mr. A, okay, and I'm currently in training to hopefully become Dr. A, okay. So you're Mr. A to Dr. A, and we're going to stay on this side. So you're memantine and risperidone, so Mr. And this is also NMDA side, so we've got MR, Mr. And then we're looking at DR for donepezil and rivastigmine, and A for the acetylcholine esterase, which is, like I say, the main thing. So, it's kind of, that's what we're really targeting, and that's my target here, to become doctor in my current engagement, of course. The only thing I've left out is galantamine. So there's your MR to Dr. A, and this was your moderately severe, okay, so moderately severe to mild to moderate. So the mild to moderate is the doctor, the moderately severe is the MR, Mr. Galantamine, again, we know the mechanism of action. How do I link D, R, and G? Well, dorsal root ganglion in terms of the spinal cord, and your afferents coming in the sensory from the dorsal root. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. Don't forget to like, share, and comment.